Welcome back to Big Gold Belt Media. I'm Damian G with a spoiler-free review here for you all. Furiosa, a Mad Max story scheduled to drop on May 24th, 2024, starring Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth. And let me tell you, I didn't have any expectations going into this movie. I had never previously seen any of the Mad Max films nor read the books. I like to go into these things completely blind. Now, if you can make a Wasteland look beautiful, I give you credit. If you can make the macabre look entertaining, I give you a lot of credit. And when I was sitting down to watch this film, number one, it hits you with occasional gratuitous violence. So if you're squeamish like I am, you might want to shield your face a little bit. You might want to cover your eyes and peek out through the corners of them. But I just had the joy, pun unintended, of watching this film. And I will just tell you right away, the leads of this movie are wonderful, in my opinion. Anya Taylor-Joy needs to be in every single action movie as a female lead. She carries this movie with limited dialogue, but when you watch somebody that is able to emote with their eyes and their body language, showing anguish, showing frustration, showing survival, that's impressive. And then you got Chris Hemsworth, which I dubbed in my notes as charismatic ineptitude. That is how his character, Dementus, portrayed himself for me. He is so charismatic in this role. It's almost as if you took his Endgame Thor, version of Thor, combined it with Momoa's Aquaman, gave him a prosthetic nose, and said, have fun. And he chewed up so much scenery as Dementus. I had so much fun watching him, and I did not know whether I wanted to root for him as the antagonist, feel sorry for him, laugh at him, want him to die. I ran through the gamut of emotions while watching this film. Low on action as much as you might think. So if you go into Mad Max thinking you're going to see nothing but nonstop balls to the wall action, this is not the movie for you. There is a lot of desolation in the Wasteland, but it's so expansive in it. It's not just barren. There's so much spectacle in what you would think is just a bunch of sandstorms. But in reality, there's a lot to see. Machinery, weaponry, the way people live. This is a dichotomy for just humankind, right? Where the haves and the have-nots are clearly divided, and it's very Darwinian in its survival of the fittest. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything major. All I'm going to say is that both leads did well in the material they were given. Were there sad, slow points in my estimation? Yes. I think midway through this film, it started to drag on just a little bit, and it lost a little bit of the steam. It built up within the first, I want to say 10 to 15 minutes of the prequel movie to give you a better idea of what Furiosa is all about. And I'm not even saying the Charlize Theron version. I'm saying what led us to this. When you see a young Furiosa going through everything and seeing how she has gone from a child to a young adult, to a young woman, to the end product that we see down the road in Mad Max Fury Road, it's quite the journey. It's a journey of trauma. It's a journey of self-discovery or forced self-discovery. It is a coming-of-age tale in my estimation, but not in a John Hughesian way, in a real life way where all bets are off and you got to fend for yourself to find your way back to your home. Beautiful scenery, even if you feel like you're stuck in a desert for the duration of this film. Pretty long film too. I believe it lasted about 2.5 hours from what I recall. But overall, I will give this movie a 3 out of 5. Was it good? Yes. Was it excellent? No. And I know a few people out there are not going to like the fact that Anya Taylor-Joy had a lot of her dialogue from what I saw cut, but that was purposeful because I told you she was able to emote the character of Furiosa without really having to speak. She spends a good chunk in the movie just emoting. Now, I know that might be her gimmick, what have you. I remember her as Magic from the New Mutants, and if you saw the New Mutants and you saw her as Magic, you understand why I feel that she needs to be in more, I don't even want to say superhero movies, but in this genre of stoic period pieces, or even something with a little bit more nuance and noir attached to it. I think this would be really good for her. I thought what she was given script-wise, she pulled it off as best she could. I know a lot of people who are fans of her are not going to like some of her dialogue or limited dialogue. I know some people are going to complain about Chris Hemsworth hamming it up essentially as Dementus. And Dementus himself is such a conniving, lovable a-hole. And I think that's the point of this character. Like I said, he made me both love, loathe, hate, feel sorry for, empathize, sympathize, but wanted him to get his. I think if that was the goal, he was a great foil for Furiosa's character to build off of. Because if you've ever had a manager or a supervisor that you don't know that how they got that job and how they keep keeping that job through the skin of their teeth by throwing other people under the figurative and literal bus in this movie, yeah, that's pretty much Chris Hemsworth in this entire movie. And I loved it just because he's so smarmy. But in the monologues he was given and he spoke with such reverence. He spoke with almost Shakespearean dialogue that made me appreciate the character and the willingness to survive. Because in the Wasteland, what you got? You basically just got yourself and the people connections you make, and maybe they don't double cross you. That's the easiest way to say it. So if I had to go in order of, okay, cinematography, 4 out of 5. Music, 3.5 out of 5. The acting of the leads is probably the best part, so I'll give that a 4 out of 5. Script, in some places it's a little lacking, so I'll give that a 2.5 out of 5. And I know some people are going to come after me here on BigGoldBelt.com, but that's how I feel about it. It was a worthwhile watch. Are you going to be blown away by it? No. Are you going to sit there and enjoy it? It might be 30 minutes too long for me. That's how I took it. It was 30 minutes too long. If you cut a little bit out of it, the beginning was good. The ending was okay. But once you got past that dredge of the early middle, it starts to pick up. You start to see Furiosa become the Furiosa we see down the road, portrayed by Charlize Theron in Mad Max Fury Road. But that's just what I think here at Big Gold Belt Media, BigGoldBelt.com. Let me know down below. This is a non-spoiler quick review of what I just saw of Furiosa, a Mad Max story scheduled for release on May 24th, 2024. Let me know what you think. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Too high? Too low? You let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time on Big Gold Belt Media.
I